Okay, let me just address something that I'm seeing out there. I'm wondering where y'all get this narrative that nobody marriage was happy, that all married women have just forever and always been unhappy because they was married to men who mistreat them. I'm going to speak for my particular reality and my frequency and what I seen growing up. Now, I'm old enough to remember how life was before the internet and how life was before disrespect was at an all-time high. I remember specifically seeing men as a kid growing up and then as a teenager. There were men, hardworking men, good men, like before whatever this change, this paradigm shift took place, good men that all they lot in life was to work hard and come home and make a comfortable home for their children and their wives. Now, I'm going to tell you what I see or what I think is going on. It may be different for some of y'all. Y'all may have had a completely different experience than I have. But what I really think, being able to look back then and look at what's happening now, I think that what has changed, number one, is access to the internet. All right. I think that we just know too much. We can look right into people's house and we can see a lot of stuff. And because of the algorithm push certain things. What's salacious is what gets views. So you're beginning to see a lot of the bad stuff. You don't see the good men that still go out there and make a living and come home. They bring home the bacon, so to speak, to their wives, and then their wives turn their house into a home for their families, their children. The men come home, the wives are in their role, the men are in their role. Y'all don't get to see that, but I'm here to tell you that that was truly a thing. It probably still is somewhere. But the difference between now and then, one of the most significant differences that I see is that back then a lot of the men acted differently as it pertained to disrespect. If a man had like a main woman, whether she was a fiance, a girlfriend, or his wife, there was no disrespect tolerated at all towards that woman. And what I mean by that is, I see a lot of side chicks. See, right now we in the side chick culture where all of a sudden side chicks feel like they should be able to sit on the same throne as the main woman. And I do blame the man for that. I don't blame the side chicks. I blame the man for that. Because back in the day, pick up the phone. Let Barbara pick up the phone calling Shirley, talking about she want to talk to her about her damn man, her husband. Bitches get busted in the street. Y'all probably don't remember. There was a time with them mistresses or them side chicks, right, used to get lye thrown on their ass or acid thrown in their face. That's where I come from. And that kept a lot of them women quiet. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I know men have always cheated. That's what they did. But back then, they had to tip. If they had a woman, she was in the next city. She was in the next county. They had to drive to go see her. Or they had to go pick her up and then they drove and went out of town. You wasn't disrespecting your main woman. And don't let her damn friends or her cousin catch you out there and see you, because they going to go back and tell. And then you're going to be dealt with. See, you have to bring shame back. A lot of stuff is happening because people feel like, oh, that's their business, I shouldn't say nothing. No. We have to bring shame back. There's always going to be a side chick. There's always going to be, I remember hearing my mama say, keep the trash in the streets. Keep the trash in the streets. In other words, she didn't tell my daddy that he couldn't cheat. What she said is, if you gon' cheat, which most of y'all do, keep the trash in the streets. A lot of these men be trying to bring that trash into their house, and then you give your side chick a false sense of superiority, thinking that she better than the wife. She's better than the girlfriend or whatever. Like, I can take your spot and all this shit. It comes back down to the men. It's their responsibility. Well, I done seen enough women get their ass bust in the street because you walked up and thought that you could go say something to the wife. There are men who gonna have their side women, but then they gonna take care of their family. They're gonna put their family and their woman first. Another thing too, they always treated the main woman like a queen. They went above and beyond to make sure that she had exactly what she needed. Because the one thing that I could tell these stupid men, right, the men these days that's having these issues, I'm gonna tell you this from a grown woman, and I consider myself a divine feminine. 9 times out of 10, most times, when you taking care of your home, you taking care of that woman, you making sure she got everything she needs and wants and desires, everything. A man could practically do whatever he want to do, aside from don't bring her no diseases. You better make sure that you out there doing what you're supposed to do. Most women that I know, and I grew up with 15 female cousins, from the superintendent and principals of the school all the way down to Luke dancers, okay, and all in between. So I done heard every story when it comes down to women. I know women. Most women, when you make sure that that woman have everything she want, everything you need, and you treat her like the queen on the throne, even if word out on the street that you got a whole nother woman out there, she not gonna press you. She not gonna press you. I mean, because it comes down to respect. Respect. You respect her. You make sure that your side, whatever, respect your home and your woman, and you always let her know. Don't you never say nothing to her. Don't you never say nothing. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like the side chick culture have an axe to grind when it comes to the girlfriend, the main woman, the fiance, the wife. I feel like they have something to prove, because for the first time in history, they finally got the damn mic. They can say something. They can come from out the streets. They can come from out the gutters. They can come from out the alley. And now they're being given a voice because these men are allowing them to. So it's going to take for them men to put everybody back in their proper position. Like I said, a woman who know that it takes 2 to build something significant for their families and their children. If you tip around, you better do it respectfully. Keep your trash in the streets, and you make sure that there's always enough for her and them children, them babies. As long as you make sure that she got the credit card, she can spend as she please. She can decorate her home, right? She could put them babies in sports and all extracurricular activities and keep herself busy. You can have your cake and eat it too. I don't know who y'all been talking to, but if you can't balance them scales and keep that in balance, then you don't need to be out there tipping. If you can't do both,